Hey, as the gridiron lights turn off around the country and the winter cold pushes us indoors, we turn to the hardwood. It's G-Man to the lane to the hoop. Can T-Money check him? And we also turn to the track, the 2.5-mile oval that runs 40 feet wide and 30 feet on the aprons. It's the Great America Race, the Daytona 500 Sunday. We got your picks. Welcome to the Father, Son, and Holy Sport. I'm G-Man, and that's T-Money.
Hey,
T-Money,
what's going on? What's up, G-Man? Pumped to be here. Sad football season's ending, but excited to talk about some different sports and, expand our horizons here,
Yes, we are stretching ourselves.
Yes, yeah.
So before we do that,
yeah,
we're going to talk a little football, maybe.
So we're going to go back to football
Bowl?
first. I can't not talk about it. So yeah, what a crazy Super Bowl. Wearing my Tom Brady jersey in honor of him. What a performance. Number 7 for this guy basically shuts the door closed on any sort of future GOAT talk for Mahomes. There's no way that this guy can catch him now.
Could they come back and face off again, man? It's going to be an awesome couple of years here with these two.
Yeah.
Going at it. I mean, they're probably favored to make it back against each other.
I'm sure they are.
It's going to be interesting to see these guys go at it for the next few years. It's going to be fun. How about Brady and Gronk, though? Reestablishing that tight end quarterback, possibly the best duo ever until Mahomes and Kelsey kind of catch up. It's still Brady and Gronk. They set the tone. They're like, who's the best quarterback tight end combination?
Yeah. I mean, they have the most in postseason history, most touchdowns in postseason history, wide receiver or tight end to quarterback. But that's just because they've played in so many. I don't know about the best ever. I would have to go Mahomes, Kelsey for that one, but there's certainly an argument to be made for them. But yeah, that was crazy. They just couldn't protect Mahomes. It was, they had lost a starter due to COVID, a lineman. He sat out the year. They lost another guy to injury in week 6, I think. And then they lost an all-pro left tackle the week before in the Bills game. So they did have 3 starting linemen out this year. Now, they had been playing with the other 2 for most of the season, but man, they just couldn't protect him. They couldn't protect him, and that defense was just too good.
Yeah. The Tampa Bay D just came to play, shut them down, and they're not going to get any credit.
I know.
But
it's
I love Mike Evans' comment. I read after the game, he told the owners, use some of my money if you need to keep the team together.
Yeah.
And they're like, Mike Evans is so unselfish. That's what they were saying. But for that, if that team can stay together, look at Mike Evans, man, stepping up. I always thought he was kind of a quiet, didn't really do much. But, man, look at the guy leading right there.
Yeah.
Trying to help keep his team together.
Yeah, that was a great quote. He's a great guy. So it was really exciting to see that all these guys come together. I think it's going to turn into, all these free agents want to go down there to ring chase, and they'll just put together whatever they can. I mean, that pass rush was amazing. They had Ndamukong Suh on a 1-year deal, JPP on a 1-year. I mean, and Shaq Barrett's on a 1-year deal. All those guys are studs. And they made Mahomes run almost 500 yards before he threw the ball combined throughout the game. Think about that.
Yeah.
Had the ball in his hands, was trying to throw. This guy ran 500 yards.
Well, he kept running back 30 yards behind himself. Why was he running back like that?
Because they were in his face. What was he going to do?
I know.
Make plays because they were down. I mean, if he throws the ball away every time someone's in his face.
Hey, they had a boat parade today, and, that wasn't the first boat parade. The first boat parade?
I do not.
The Tampa Bay Lightning. Remember Tampa Bay in hockey?
That's true.
They had a boat parade. And there was all kinds of issues about, no, you can't have a parade in the city because of COVID. So they're like, okay, fine, we'll go out on the water. They had a boat parade today. This is a Wednesday night right now. This will be coming out to all you guys on Thursday. You can all check it out. But we're Wednesday night right now. They had a boat parade today.
Yeah, it was awesome. Tom Brady, there's some pictures and videos coming out of him looking pretty inebriated. He was having himself a good time.
Hey, that would be too.
He threw. I mean, this is what happens when you win your 7th Lombardi trophy. You don't care about them anymore because he threw the Lombardi Trophy
I saw
to
that.
Gronk from boat to boat.
We've
That
all thrown
is
things boat to boat. Those of us have been on two boats. You've
not
always
the
tried to throw
biggest.
things from boat to boat, and you usually throw it and it goes like 20 yards behind you when you're moving.
Yeah,
But no, they actually caught it.
caught it.
Great,
I mean, that's when you know you're
great
the
throw.
GOAT because you don't care about the trophy. I mean, that's
Yeah.
crazy. So, man, that was wild. But, as we move on to the off season, trades start to come up, the draft eventually, we'll keep talking. But, it was interesting this week. Carson Wentz, is officially on the trading block. There was a lot of back and forth between, the Eagles wanted to keep him and they don't want to keep him. They fired Doug Peterson because he didn't want him. But now it looks like Carson Wentz is going to get traded. And what everyone's saying is by the end of this week. So, I think he should go to Indy. His coach that he had as his offensive coordinator, I think it was 2017, his best year, is now the head coach there. They have the number one offensive line in football. I think that he would be a really good fit there and nice reset.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know if the Bears or the Colts. I heard the Bears too, but I don't know the
Bears
Bears
too.
or the Colts. Man, I don't know if I trust Carson Wentz. I
Yeah,
just
it's
don't know
tough.
if I can trust the guy. Would I bet my franchise on him, which is what Indy has to do? And the Bears already have two guys. I mean, what are they going to do with Wentz? I mean, he's got to prove himself. He's
100%.
he's fell back a notch. Now the next team, he's got to
Oh,
prove
yeah.
himself. Am I going to put a guy in my number one slot at quarterback if they have not proven themselves? I mean, that's a big risk, man. I love Carson Wentz's, his attitude and everything. He seems like a great guy to have in the
Yeah.
locker room, man. But I just don't know if I could trust my franchise on him.
Yeah, it's going to be tough, man. I will give him credit here. He had the most offensive line combinations in NFL history this year. So he
Yeah.
had a very poor O line. The year before, he willed a trash team to the playoffs. I mean, he has moments, but I think he's just tried to do too much because he knows how bad his team is. Like he's trying to win on every single throw instead of methodically playing a game plan out, if that makes sense.
I mean, how do you compare him to Darnold? Darnold is kind of the same situation. Can you really trust him? How would you compare Wentz or Darnold? Which one would you want as your quarterback?
Right now, I'd want Sam Darnold purely because he's younger, more influential, and he's on a rookie contract. I don't want to take Carson Wentz's $100 million contract on 4 years of that. I mean, that's tough. That would only be guaranteed for another year or two. And it's not unreasonable to pay him, 25 a year. That's a great contract if he can turn out to be a good quarterback.
Yeah.
But Sam Darnold was under Adam Gase. The last quarterback who was under Adam Gase and then left Adam Gase is Ryan Tannehill. And look how good he actually is when not being coached by Adam Gase.
Yeah.
So
that's interesting that you would say Darnold's a better choice than Wentz. I bet a lot of people wouldn't say that, but you're making good points there, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you only have to commit to him for a year or two if you want to pick up his fifth year option, and he's on a really cheap rookie deal, and he's more influential and has a horrible coach before him. So I would take him. I think he's not mentally as in a bad place as Carson Wentz is, and sometimes once people go down a dark mental path, you can't get them back. So tough one.
All right, what else you got? What else is going on in your world, man? You got your Michigan jersey on tonight. Yep. You're in your cloffice. What are you thinking about when times are quiet in your San Francisco cloffice, man?
Well, a lot of people can't see right now, but I got a beautiful picture right here above my computer, and it's LeBron James.
Was that a nice segue?
It was a great segue, and that wasn't even planned. That's how smooth we are. Off each other, and I always have things of LeBron in my house. So as we move on from football, we transition. NBA starting to take over, basketball starting to take over, and LeBron in year 18 is currently now the Vegas odds-on favorite to win league MVP.
He's not in DraftKings.
I don't look at DraftKings for betting odds.
Yeah, they're betting odds for MVP on DraftKings.
Well, I don't know what happened literally today.
He's number 5. He's number 5 on DraftKings.
Okay, I don't think.
Which I thought you'd just be, going crazy.
Okay, I'm gonna go bet DraftKings right now. I don't know what they're doing because DraftKings isn't Vegas. They're just some commodity. Like actual
But you
sports
do bet
books.
money there. They can't lose. I mean, they want to win their money, you know.
So I'm just saying the real people who actually do this, MGM and Caesars, they all have LeBron as the favorite. So
Yeah, I
I
know.
don't know what the hell
Everybody
DraftKings is
knows
doing.
LeBron's the favorite, but these
Why you
guys
gotta
still have odds.
why you gotta throw some water on my fire here,
No,
man?
hey man, no, I'm
You
not throwing
gotta-
one on your fire. I'm just trying to tell you what the facts are, you know.
Okay, well, the facts are that DraftKings are stupid. So I'm gonna go bet that. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to DraftKings.com. No.
Here's the guys that are ahead of LeBron. I'll just give you the top two.
Okay, well, I'll
Luca.
give you the ones that are actually. This is preseason. That's why I said Luca is
No,
not.
this is
This is
no,
not
this
right
is
now.
this Jan 18. Jan 18 odds.
January 18 is so
Yeah.
long ago.
Jan 18 odds.
I'm
let's go.
sorry. I apologize to our audience for Gary giving you month-old odds.
No, I'm giving you Jan. I'm
Ones
giving you
right
Jan
now
18.
is LeBron, Embiid,
All right.
Jokic, and Durant. I apologize for him putting. I thought he was messing up. I thought I was messing up, but it turns out he just giving you old odds. Those are the current odds if you want to actually bet.
Oh, so they've changed that much in 3 weeks.
Yes, Gary. Come on.
Oh, come on. Come on.
They have changed because Luca's team is the 14th seed in the West. Jokic's team is the 8th seed in the West. Steph Curry's team is the 8th seed or I think tied for 8th seed in the West. Durant hasn't played him enough games, and Joel Embiid is a close second, but he hasn't played enough games as well. So LeBron, who's played every game, is leading his teams in points, assists, and steals, playing phenomenal defense, and is on the best team.
Hey, as
Number
when
one now.
what I was reading is that LeBron's going to be tired. He's playing all these games. He's going to wear out, man. He's not going to rack up the stats.
That's
some
true.
of these other guys are.
I know, but he's also, averaging 27, 7, and 7. Like he's averaging 25, 7, and 7, I think is what he might be averaging. I mean, points are one thing, but he's still second or third in the league in assists. So, he's only behind Jokic and Luka. He's playing better defense than most of these guys would.
Hey, man.
So
Anthony Davis is going to be ranked higher than LeBron for the MVP. You've heard that here first, ladies and gentlemen. All you people.
Statistically, he's having a very down year. This is one of his worst years in the last 5 years. So I don't know about that one.
Hey, man. Anthony Davis brought it in the playoffs last year.
But the oldest to ever win MVP is Karl Malone at 35. LeBron could do it at 36. Add that to his bag of goatness, and that would just be phenomenal.
I know you love him, man. I know you love him. Hey, let's talk a little college sport.
We'll move down.
Basketball. What do you got? What's going on in your world?
NCAA tournament, man. NCAA tournament. It's finally here. We missed last year, so I think everyone in the sports world is craving March Madness.
That was crazy that they delayed that.
That was insane.
They delayed it. They canceled it.
I feel bad for all the kids who never got to experience that. And we missed out on a fun year, but it's going to be a good one this year. There's been a lot of chaos, actually. A lot of teams who weren't ranked are now ranked, like Michigan. They weren't ranked at the beginning of the year. A lot of big teams have lost and are bad this year, which aren't expected, probably due to a lot of COVID, but Gonzaga and Baylor, currently the only two undefeateds left. So it's going to be fun.
Gonzaga, 19-0, ranked number 1. Baylor, 17-0, ranked 2. Okay, now let's talk about the Big Ten getting 3 of the next 4 spots. Michigan, Ohio State, and Illinois in 3 of the next 4 spots.
Yeah, that's a cool one. I'm excited for the tournament, man. We'll see what happens. And what's going to be awesome about March Madness this year are different. They're doing Friday through Monday for the first weekend. Did you know that, Gare?
I did not.
They're not doing Thursday through Sunday. So we'll see what the audience likes. I don't know if I'm a fan of that one. A fan of that one.
The G-Man pool party will be out in full force.
Oh, yeah. As
we kick off the G-Man bracket, and we will see what happens. And let's keep the show going, T-Money. Let's do it. The city of Tampa Bay's ready. They got their boat parade going on. We got the city of Daytona. It's all happening down in Florida, man. The lights are on the track on Daytona tonight. They're doing qualifying runs. They're on the track as we speak. We will break it down for you. We'll have picks for you. We have Dan Renz joining us tonight for an interview. where we will talk NFL and college b-ball. We got the trivia of the week coming to you, seeing if we can stump Team Money. Here's the question for you, Team Money, and for our fans to think about. Who is the famous basketball player who started a new NASCAR team with Denny Hamlin, and what number is the car? We're going to see if Team Money can answer that question when we get to the trivia of the week.
All right.
We also got Ross v. Ross. We got the T. Ross chug and rant. And we used to call the T. Ross rant, but no, we're chugging and we're ranting. Coming to you live from the San Francisco rooftops, where T Money's chugging a Bud Light before his rants. That's our new feature. You're going to love this show. And let's get to it. Let's start off with Ross v. Ross then, and we're going to say who wins the Big Ten. We just were talking about the rankings. We got 3 of those 4 Big Ten teams in the top 6. 3 of the top 6 are Big Ten teams, and 2 of them are Michigan, Ohio State. Michigan ranked 3rd, 13-1 overall. Ohio State ranked 4th, 16-4 overall. But who do you think wins the Big Ten? Is it one of those 2 teams? Or do you think Illinois gets in there and slips in and takes it? Who's going to win the conference?
Okay. Well, if we're talking regular season, my Michigan boys got this wrapped up already. Okay. They got Juwan Howard in there, who's completely taken over this program. I mean, he's from the Fab Five, which is already cool as hell. He was really good in the NBA and played for a very long time. So he has great connections. He can talk to these young kids about players. He coached in the NBA. He was a perfect hire for these guys. Perfect. They've only lost 1 game, and that came out after a gauntlet where they played 4 out of 5 ranked teams. That was the last ranked team they played in the 5th game. So I think they're going to be really good here. They actually even got a little break after that because they had COVID. So they've been off for the last 3 weeks. Even they haven't been off practicing until the last 2 weeks, but they were off for 3 weeks. They got their guys healthy and rested. They got their 5th-year center who was injured back too. So they got that senior leadership back on the floor. I think Michigan's going to run away. They are 3 games up on Ohio State right now. I think they're going to run away with the regular season title here.
So you're going to go chalk on me. You're going to go chalk.
Going chalk.
Your hometown Michigan guys with your jersey on. We don't appreciate that jersey down in Ohio, I'm going with the Buckeyes to win this conference. To come back and win this thing. And hey, you saw Ohio State take apart Clemson in football when you didn't think it would happen. Justin Fields lit the place up. So we proved you, man. We proved you the Buckeyes can play. Okay, so I'm going Buckeyes to win this conference, man. And, we're just beating people. We got a great run going. We've won 5 in a row. Buckeyes are playing. We have no NBA first rounders on this team. We're playing 10 and 11 guys. We have an awesome defense. We're blue collar, man. We play together. We got character. We play D. It's your old Duke teams that you love, man. That's what we do.
Slapping the floor.
So how are we going to do this? How are we going to win it all? Here's my formula for the Buckeyes to catch Michigan. First of all, we play Michigan. Michigan's coming up, so we can beat them head to head. Okay.
Then you get the tiebreaker.
So now, because Michigan did not play as many games as the Buckeyes are 10-4. Michigan's 8-1. But if we go 5-1 the rest of the way, and we got 6 games remaining, so does Michigan. We go 5-1 the rest of the way, and Michigan goes 3-3. We play kind of the same teams.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we can go 5-1, Michigan goes 3-3. That percentage, if you look at the percentage, the Buckeyes would be 15-5. That's 75% win percentage. Michigan would be 11-4. That's 73%. Buckeyes win the Big Ten Conference by 2 percentage points, man. That's my formula.
Yeah, I mean, they got a shot at it, but I don't know if Michigan's going to lose that many. Now, we do play, I think, 4 or 5 more ranked teams at the end of the year here. So Michigan's going to end up with a very impressive schedule at the end of this year. But I don't know if I can trust Ohio State. I mean, they lost to Purdue twice. They were scoring like 60 points a game. Michigan's last win was versus Purdue, and they won by 20 points. I mean, I don't think they're really in the same class here. Like you said, I just think Michigan has played better basketball. Ohio State has been skirting by a lot of these games. Like you said, they're blue collar. They don't have a lot of, amazing skill players on their team. But it's going to be an intense game. This Ohio State Michigan game will actually be a great basketball game for the first time in a while. So I think it's going to be fun finish to the Big Ten. Really deep conference this year. Big Ten
It will.
might be the deepest in basketball, but I think Michigan, for them to go 3-3 at the finish, I don't see that happening after going this long and only losing.
Well, one of those is going to be the Buckeyes. So one of those losses is the Buckeyes because we play head to head. Ladies and gentlemen, that game is going to be that's on Sunday, February 21st.
All right.
1:00 head to head. It goes down. Okay, so check it out. A week from Sunday, it's going to happen. Hey, we're going to shift gears here. We're going to go to a special guest. We got a special guest for you today on the father-son coast-to-coast hotline. It's going to be Dan Renz. Let's bring Dan in now. Hey, we welcome into the father-son coast-to-coast hotline Dan Renz. Dan's an avid sports junkie. Graduated from the University of Pittsburgh 5 years ago. Spent a couple years strolling around Texas. Spent a few years in Cincinnati. And in October, moved to Chicago, the Windy City. One of the big fans of the show. Dan Renz, welcome to the father-son coast-to-coast hotline.
Welcome. What's going on?
Hey, guys. Thank you so much. Big fan of the show. Love what you guys are doing.
Heck yeah, man. We're glad to have you on. We're ready to talk some sports. You're getting slammed there in Chicago. I've seen some crazy pictures. I'm sitting out here in San Francisco, beautiful weather, but yeah, you're getting pounded.
Yeah, the Chicago River is officially frozen. Lake Michigan is coming next, but yeah, we got about 7 inches of snow today. It is getting bad months of Chicago.
Is Dan Renz gonna break out his old hockey skates and go out on the lake? That's what I want to know.
Man, we were supposed to play hockey. two knee surgeries ago.
Yeah, we were supposed to be in a hockey league.
Hey, I've seen T Money stroll his skates. I've seen T Money skate around the Cincinnati parks before.
I have no clue.
Yes, you and Justine.
Oh yeah,
with the little skates going around the park. Oh yeah, okay.
Oh my God. Okay. That was a healthy knee ago. So, but excited to have Dan on. Excited for that. One day we may skate around in a hockey league together.
Yes.
About that. Oh man.
But hey, man, what'd you think about the Super Bowl, Dan? We're just coming off of the Super Bowl. We're wrapping up our season, and what'd you think about the game?
Man, it was good. It was a low scoring game, or just it was. I was kind of thinking. I remember of like the Rams and Patriots Super Bowl. It kind of gave me that vibe at the beginning, and then Brady just started to pour it on, and
it was a crazy game. I mean, that defense that the Bucs had was wild. They had Patrick Mahomes running around for his life. Could you imagine? I mean, did you ever imagine him not even scoring a touchdown?
I know, because a big Bills fan over here. That looked like the Bills versus Chiefs. That looked like what Josh Allen was facing against the Chiefs defense 2 weeks ago.
Hey, we're gonna get to your Bills. We're gonna get to your Bills, man. But the Tampa game. You look at Brady. He did what we thought he'd do, right? Everybody thought it was gonna be a high-scoring game. Brady came through like we thought that he would. Mr. Consistency, which is what he loves. He wants to be consistent. He did it again. He was consistent. It was the Bucs defense that stole the show. They're not going to get any press because Brady is getting it all. But man, how about that Tampa Bay defense, man? Just superior.
Those linebackers were everywhere.
They were. I mean, even before the Super Bowl, were you betting the Chiefs? Were you betting, the Bucs? What were you leaning? Where'd your head have you at?
I was all over the Chiefs. I was against Tom Brady for obvious reasons. I didn't think he could do it. Who bets against the Chiefs? And that offense, they were rolling the whole year. They killed them the first game.
Yeah,
it was 24-3 the first quarter. I don't know.
So we look now at the odds for next year. They just came out today. and I'm working my way to the Bills here. Look at the NFC odds. Okay, Tampa and Green Bay are tied for the lead, so they're supposed to win the NFC. And guess who the third place team is? My hat here, the Rams. Third place, Matt Stafford brings them up to 3. So that's the NFC. But over in the AFC, I want to get Dan's opinion on this, T. The Chiefs are favored, to win the AFC, and then tied for second behind them are the Bills and the Ravens. So the Ravens are in there tied with the Bills. What do you think about, the Ravens being tied with you guys for future picks, Dan? And, then let's move and talk about the Bills.
I know. Well, just I think this whole season was awesome for the Bills. It's something that I'm always going to remember. It wasn't necessarily a negative at the end, like the Packers, the Saints, when they lost, it was heartbreaking. But the Bills getting over the hump, especially facing the Houston Texans last year and losing, getting 2 playoff wins this year, getting to the conference finals, only to lose to Mahomes. I think next season, though, you gotta get back there, or else it's going to be a disappointment. They're getting all their guys back. They're keeping their offensive coordinator.
And that was a big keep.
Mm-hmm. I don't see how they couldn't get back to face Kansas City.
What do you think that they need to add to their team? Do you see any weaknesses, maybe running back or something like that? Like, where do you see them need to add in free agency in the draft to really take that next step?
Definitely on defense. Pro Bowl corner Tre'Davious White. I think he just got in just popularity vote. He was not good this year. They could not stop the run.
Definitely
Josh Allen was
defense
running for his
pieces.
life.
If you're gonna have to go through Mahomes, then you're definitely gonna need to up that defense.
They upped the offense. They got Stephon Diggs, and they picked up a couple other players like Gabe Davis and Zach Moss. Now, if they turn to the defense and fix that, here's this little stat on the Bills' defense against the run, including the playoffs. They went 15-4, but in the 4 losses, the defense allowed more than 100 rushing yards in all 4 of those losses. What can they do to pick up something? I think maybe on the D line. When you say, Dan, it's got to be that D line, or maybe the linebackers.
Yeah, they just got Ed Oliver from Houston, I think 2 or 3 drafts ago. He hasn't really shown anything. I think he was a 6 overall pick or something.
Yeah, he was definitely a top 10 pick.
Yeah, but they definitely needed help there too. They were getting run all over.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I totally agree. This was a big leap year for them. It was a huge stepping stone, and I think, like you said, they shouldn't be looked at a negative in the season. You got 2 playoff wins, got to the conference final, won a ton of games. I agree. I thought this was a very positive ending for them and a great season. Especially for Josh Allen. How does everyone feel about Josh Allen in Buffalo? What's the sense like?
They love him. Give him the world. Give him all the money. they gotta lock him up forever.
Yeah.
No, it's just kind of like Cleveland.
Yeah. No, for sure. And he kind of has that Buffalo spirit. He's a gritty guy. Like, it just seems, comes from Wyoming, seems blue collar like the city. So they've embraced him. It's funny.
Well, they announced the Super Bowl NFL honors. They announced the NFL's Fantasy Player of the Year. I don't know if you saw that, but Josh Allen was the NFL Fantasy Player of the Year. Oh, really? And then for the MVP, of course, they went to Mahomes. Mahomes was the MVP, but the Josh Allen was in the running and came in second.
No, he had so many rushing yards and rushing touchdowns that just put him over the top.
Yeah, that was pretty wild. He was second in the MVP to Rodgers there, Garrett. Mahomes was in the
right. Sorry.
But yeah, that was great season for him.
Right.
MVP season. That's what it really impressed me. He every time you thought he was going to have a bad game, he kept piling on good stats and throwing efficiently. I think that was the biggest thing. His completion percentage went way up.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, they started 4-0. Then they went against the Titans and the Chiefs. They lost both of those. They were both primetime games. And then they had a really tough stretch. They were going against the 49ers, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Steelers, the Chargers. And I was ready for them to go 3-3. They won them all except for that Hail Mary from Kyler Murray.
Oh, yeah.
And then they beat the Patriots twice this year. That was the best part about the season. Haven't done that since
That's
I've ever
great.
watched them. So
Yeah, I'm sure that's awesome. You guys are kind of the new kings of that division. It's pretty funny how quickly you took over the Patriots.
That
I
is
know.
true.
Yeah,
And
well,
Miami's kind of, trying to get in there
mhm.
too, but you're right. Buffalo's got the upper hand.
I know. And then so many years of just trying to fight off Tom Brady, and now you got to go against Mahomes. So we will see. So
AFC's a tough route. There's a lot of
sure.
superstars. Looking at the contract, and Team Money's our contract expert, but I'll just set it up. The 7th overall pick in the 2018 draft, 7th overall pick. He gets a 4-year, $21 million deal. He's in the 3rd year of his contract. And now we're looking at, okay, what are we going to do for him now? Mahomes signed a 10-year, $45 million contract. He's probably not going to get that, right? So he's going to be more like a Deshaun Watson kind of contract.
Yeah.
When it comes
definitely.
up here, Watson earns $39 million. So what do you think in terms of Josh Allen? What does he get? Something along the lines of Deshaun Watson?
Definitely. I think going forward, he's definitely a top 5 or top 3 quarterback if you compare him to everybody else, just for his age and just what you're building around him. You got to pay him. You cannot let him go. You got to pay him whatever he wants.
Well, it's scary, paying these guys after their 3rd season, though, because technically they can wait another year, pick up his 5th year option, and now they can still pay him early after the 4th season. But you look at the quarterbacks before him, Wentz and Goff got paid big after their 3rd year and have struggled the next 2. And the other side of the coin is obviously Mahomes and Watson, who did not. But it's a gamble after 3 years. One good year a lot of quarterbacks have had. Can he do it for multiple years now that people have film on him? I'd be hesitant to pay him this offseason, but if he has another season like this, I'd pay him next year, and he can still get that 5th year option and helps with the contract finagling and the cap space and whatnot. So would you pay him this year, or would you wait a year?
I guess I'm guessing with you. We should probably wait a year.
That's what I like to hear, Dan. That's my New Year's.
If you're the owner, you want to try and wait a year, but if he pushes it, maybe it's in his advantage to push this thing, Josh Allen, and try to get something now, because of that risk.
I don't know. I'm just so happy they got a quarterback. I've spent way too many years looking at they had Fitzpatrick, Trent Edwards, EJ Manuel.
Oh man. Tyrod Taylor took him
took him to the playoffs against Jacksonville.
And then they shipped him out.
Well, what game, Dan, this year, when you look back at this year, Josh Allen this year, what game did he turn the corner for you? Did you say, oh my gosh, this guy is going to be a superstar? Because he wasn't like that last year.
No, but it wasn't.
Now he is. So when was the turning point for you?
I think it was the Monday night game against the 49ers. Because that was right after the Cardinals game where they lost. They needed a big win. Him and Diggs just turned it up. And then the next week it was against the Steelers, who'd only lost 1 game. I think they were 12-1 or something. And then he turned it up again. Turned it up against the Broncos. I think it was just right there because they were struggling in that middle of the season. They only beat the Jets by 1 score. They barely beat the Patriots. It was.
I mean, that was awesome. It was awesome to see him go on a tear like that. And, it big leap forward for that guy. So good for him and happy for the Bills fans out there.
Hey, let's move on to talk about some University of Pittsburgh basketball.
Yeah.
I'm looking at their scheduler. They're kind of in the middle of the pack, 5-5 in the ACC. But heck, Duke's 5-5, and Syracuse is 4-5. So they're in there in the bunch in this middle of the ACC with some other good teams. They just played 2 ranked teams. I'm just wondering what you thought about them as you think about these games they just played against Virginia Tech and Virginia, both top 20 teams. They went 1-1 against those teams. What do you think? What did you think when you saw them go up against the best of the best? Thinking about their chances in the March Madness, can they hang with those kind of teams, Dan?
I think they can. I think they're definitely gonna make a tournament this year, which they've been struggling ever since they joined the ACC. It's been a huge struggle.
Yeah,
they have not looked good. The only I always think back to like 2019 in 2010 that when Kemba Walker took the step back against him.
That's what I remember.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, that Kemba Walker step back, man.
Yeah.
He's still doing
they're
it.
good. Yeah, he still is.
He's still good. Yeah, that was the 2010 Big East at Madison Square Garden. So that was the last time I ever good. Jamie Dixon went to TCU.
Yeah.
The whole program fell apart. But they got Capel in 2018. And man, we were just getting killed. He hasn't beaten Duke. We just beat Duke. They were 8-2. I was so happy. Then they lose 3 straight to just trash teams. Like you said, they split with Virginia Tech. But
see, the Virginia Tech game. Virginia Tech they beat, and they had a guy named Xavier Johnson, who's a 6'3", 200-pound point guard.
Yeah,
got 32 points. What's your feeling for Xavier Johnson?
Yeah, he got benched. I forget why, but he got benched and he just went off in that second half. It was awesome.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. So what's his skill set? What's he got that's going to make him unique when it comes to March Madness?
Oh man, I don't know.
He obviously can score.
Yeah, he's a beast.
I mean,
biggest thing right now is, like you said, they're 9-6, but and they're in the second 4 out, so the first 8 out right now. So they need to win a couple more games. Okay. I just looked at Joe Lenardi's bracketology. So
nice.
They are technically on the bubble right now. They're big. So, I mean, hey, in that ACC tournament though, anyone can win. That's why I love the winner of the tournaments always getting in. One thing I love about March Madness. And if you play a couple ranked teams and then all of a sudden you're not a bubble team anymore. So they could win a big game in that ACC tournament, get a little notoriety. I mean, they definitely, like I said, they got a great point guard to score a lot of points, and they got it. They're finally starting to, build a program there after Jamie Dixon left. So I'm excited for March Madness to start coming around here.
I know. Yeah, me too.
They also got a guy named Justin Champagne that scored 18 points and grabbed 10 boards against Virginia. 6'6", 200. That guy's a great player too.
Yeah, I think he's leading the ACC in scoring. Supposed to be a late first-round pick. So
interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
So they got some potential. They don't play any ranked opponents the rest of the way. To T Money's point, it'd be nice if they had a ranked opponent that could get him into playoffs, but the others have to win out, man.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
When you with your engineering background, I know you're a mechanical engineer. Now you're like a process engineer, right, Dan? You've moved from mechanical to expand now to process. So you're probably an expert at lean and making things more efficient.
Lean Six Sigma, yeah.
So tell us something either about the University of Pittsburgh basketball or the Buffalo Bills. Your recommendations for how those teams can improve their efficiency. What do you think?
Man, Pitt just gotta get better recruits. Nobody wants to come because the program's bad. They just need to go back to 2010. They had the #1 seed in March Madness like 2 years in a row with I think it was DeJuan Blair.
Yeah,
#1 seed. They just gotta get back to that. I have not seen them good in a long time.
They'd certainly. I mean, that's a lot of competition in that league. Big Ten too. You got some conferences where it's really tough to get out of.
Yeah, ACC is very deep. So they got recruiting's where it starts. So they need to hit that trail hard, find some gems. So, but I'm looking forward to a good season out of them. Hopefully they can squeeze in and get off of that bubble.
Hey,
so Dan, who do you root for now? You're in Chicago. You're falling in love with any of those Chicago teams? What are you kind of getting attracted to over there?
Man, I don't really ever have a baseball team. I've been kind of jumping cities, going from the Pittsburgh Pirates, Cincinnati Reds, but now I think I'm going full Chicago Cubs. I think that's gonna be my Chicago team.
Okay.
All right, joining the Cubs, huh?
What kind of drew you in there? Was it the hedges? That tradition. You look at that field, you're like, oh my God, this is history right here. What drew you into the Cubs?
Man, it's just that whole area by the stadium is just awesome. It's live. Everybody goes there. It's just something else.
Well,
It's
what's
almost
the
like a
bar to go
social.
to? What's the bar to go to around there? I might need to know just for research purposes. If I ever happen to be in Chicago.
Hey man, bars just opened up finally, so we are getting back to them.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've heard great things about that area by the stadium. So
Yeah.
and Wrigley's supposed to be one of the most iconic stadiums in all of baseball. So that's awesome. Picking the Cubs. You got teams scattered around the country, don't you? I mean,
Yeah.
that's hilarious.
So can you actually hit the ball into that hedge and get it lost?
Yeah.
I think you can, right? Like
Yeah.
it can go into the hedge.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a weird thing about that stadium.
No,
It's up against like apartments and stuff. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, you hit into hedges, and then the players, the outfielders go like that because they don't want to touch it because they want it to be a double.
Yeah, that's a good move, man. I'd be raising my hands up right away.
Yeah, that's funny.
Hey, T Money, anything else you want to wrap up here with?
No, just happy that we got to get Dan on. He's been a great supporter of the show, and we wanted to, bring him on, talk about the Bills because, they had a great season, and he's been chirping and texting us, commenting on everything about how to put more respect on the Bills.
Yes, please.
I dogged him a lot, so I wanted to invite him on so he could plead his case, and I will say they ended up doing way better than I thought they would in the playoffs. So I eat my words.
That is true.
2 playoff games, and I would have said they didn't win any. So
yeah, you guys were dogging them against the Colts, dogging them against the Ravens. It was probably justified against the Chiefs, but come on.
So finally, we got it right after 3 tries.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on, man. It's been a blast.
No, man. Hey, thanks. Thank you so much. Like I said, big fan. You guys are doing great work. Excited to see the future with you guys.
Thanks a lot, Dan. Thanks for coming on the Father-Son Coast-to-Coast Hotline. Talk to you soon.
All right. We'll see you later, man.
Well, hey, that was a fun interview, Team Money.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed talking to Dan.
That's awesome, man. It's crazy seeing all that snow he's got in Chicago and talking to Bills fan. Those guys are crazy. So, happy for him this year. That was great to hear, the Bills fans, the Mafia finally getting a big year under their belt.
Yeah. Those Bill fans, man, they're just so excited about their team.
Yeah.
And that's great, man. That's what a dedicated fan base is like right there. And Dan's one of our biggest fans on this show. We love you fans out there. Dan's one of the biggest, man. He's always giving us ideas and sending things our way. And we want to encourage all of you guys. You tell us what you like. You like the T. Ross rant? You like T to chug 2 beers? We'll make him chug 2 instead of 1.
Wait. Okay.
So, hey, speaking of chugging, hey, we're going to have some fun, and you're going to go up and you're going to get that chug going for the T. Ross Chug and Rant.
All right.
So why don't you head up to the rooftop, and I'm going to first recognize our sponsor for the T. Ross Rant. And today's T. Ross Rant brought to you by Help Me Startup. Do you have a startup or new company idea? Why not get help from the experts at Help Me Startup? Try the easy-to-use startup tools and advice to help you get moving and on your way toward investment and success. Learn more at helpmestartup.co. Thank you, Help Me Startup team. And we've got a great topic for you this week with the Daytona 500 this weekend. And yes, we'll give you our top picks. But before we do that, let's go up to Team Money, high up in the San Francisco skyline for the T. Ross Bud Light Chug and Chant.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Coming to you live from the rooftop in San Francisco. Beautiful day, a little bit windy, but ready for another T. Ross rant. So gonna chug this Bud Light real quick, and we're gonna get to it. Cheers. Thanks, everyone, for waiting and listening on a podcast, but video rant and get a beautiful view of downtown San Francisco. So my rant today, we got the Daytona 500 coming up, and I'm sorry, I just don't think it's a sport. I think you could compare it a little more to esports. You don't have to be physically fit. Yeah, you might lose a little weight because it's hot in there, but really, you're just turning left and driving stick shift. And at this point, it's just tickers. Grand Prix is a little bit harder, so you could maybe convince me of that. But man, I think it's more like esports. You don't have to be an athlete. You don't have to be very analytical and dissect defenses or have the perfect form. I mean, yeah, and you get a mechanical piece in there that you could have an advantage purely because of your engine. So I'm sorry to Daytona fans. I'm just not convinced that it's a true sport. Now it's entertaining and it's entertainment, but sport, I'm not sure about. Gary, what you think?
And hey there, T-Money. I loved it, man. That was so good, man. T-Money up there, chugging a beer, bringing it to you. I love that segment. You guys love that segment with T-Money chugging up there. That is
Woo.
so cool.
Oh man, what'd you think though? I mean, what are your thoughts?
Well, I know that you can chug a beer, man. It doesn't even phase you. If that was me, I'd still be laying on the ground up there. Great chugging. All right.
Talk about the rant there. I know I can chug a beer.
In terms of the rant, I got a couple of points on NASCAR. I got my background here. I got these NASCAR fans with me tonight with this background. I got the Daytona 500. Yeah. All the fans are taking pictures. So I'm going to step up and say, I understand your point. A lot of people in America feel like you do. I'm going to try to, give some other points on that. The average NASCAR race, did you know this, gets 150,000 spectators. I mean, how many sports can you say that? That's pretty doggone good. And then how about this, man? Well, if you ever been to a race, you been to a NASCAR race?
Yes.
People love the motors, man, the engines, the noise. You know why that is? Those engines only run for one race. They are cranking them 200 miles an hour. They're among the fastest and best engineered cars on the road. You know what else is extreme about them? The cockpit, where you say those athletes are when they're all getting sweaty, it's 170 degrees in there. And their car's doing 2 to 3 G's of force. A lot of people love that, man. The engines and the force. I've walked up on North Carolina, the Charlotte Motor Speedway. I've been up on that bank, man, on the bank. That thing is so high. You almost have to crawl up with your hands and your feet on your knees. That's how high that bank goes up there. These guys are going around that thing, and it's 170 degrees inside the car.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that it's not intense or epic or entertaining. It is very entertaining. And I think it sides more on the entertainment side than it does the sports side. That's why I say it's like esports-ish, that's entertainment. But these guys, they don't have to be athletic. And I know Tom Brady's not athletic, but they don't have to dissect defenses or know which position to get in. They don't have to be physically imposing. They don't have to be clutch. You could be a worse driver than the person next to you, but beat them because you have a better car. And so it's more of like a team and engineer cohesive unit wins. And I get that. That's why they represent a team flag and the driver gets most of the credit, but it's just.
You see that team come out and change the tires. They change the tires and refuel. You know what the average time is? 12 seconds. Those guys come running out and they do all that stuff, man. And the car goes back on the road. It's all ready to go in 12 seconds. You pull up the Giant Eagle and try to fill your car up with gas. You haven't even got to the pump in 12 seconds.
Oh my God. That's amazing.
But I'll give you one last point, man, about NASCAR.
Right.
You know how much money this sport generates? Sponsorship deals are $3 billion a year. That's twice the NFL. And the winner, here's a little fact for you for this weekend. Okay. The winner of the Daytona 500 takes home $2 million. That's Sunday. And Pebble Beach, the Pro-Am's going on this weekend on Sunday. The winner of that golf outing, $1.4 million.
Hey, it's a big sport. I don't doubt
it's a big sport.
A lot of fans, but
so you do say it's a sport then?
No, that's what people call it. But esports has the most fans in the world. So I don't know, are we calling that? It's esports. we can call this C sports for car sports. I mean, I can't watch something that is the same word spelled backwards, race car over here.
Hey man, I love your stuff. That's a great job, T.
So
hey,
I love it though.
Hey man, let's go to the picks. We're gonna do some picks here. Let's pick.
All right.
We can choose any sport. You can have any sport you want. It's for this weekend. You can pick any game you want, any sport. We're going to do one of those, and then we're going to do our NASCAR pick after that. Okay, so what do you got for your any sport, any bet choice for this weekend?
I'm going the Nets over the Warriors. The money line, right now, I would take it straight up. They haven't come out with the odds yet. I don't know. It's probably on DraftKings, but that's probably from like January 10th or something. Gary, I don't know, but they both have
18th, actually.
Yeah, they both have horrible defenses, so you could bet the over here. And the Nets will have KD back. They're 7-1 versus teams over 500. I think that the Nets will blow out the Warriors, and the over will hit because of both these teams are so bad.
Wow, that's a good pick. I
Thanks.
have nothing to add to that. I'm assuming you analyze that and you're on top of it.
Yes.
I'm going to the golf, man. I'm going to the golf. The Pebble Beach Pro-Am's going on. Patrick Cantley's the favorite. Phil Mickelson is tied for the most wins there with 5. He can become the lone guy at 6 if he can win this thing. All right, so Phil's kind of in this on the outside, kind of looking at maybe doing something historical. But I'm going to win this thing. My bet is Jordan Spieth to win the Pebble Beach. He's 22-1. He's forecasted to come in 6th. I think he can win the thing. He tied for 3rd at the Phoenix Open. He had the thing in his hands. He shot a 61 on Saturday and then just fell apart on Sunday. But I love his passion and his attitude. I think he can put 2 events together. This guy wins the Pebble Beach.
Yeah, I like the bet because of the odds there. Spieth's trying to make a little bit of a comeback, had a few down years. Played really great last week. Just choked it away on Sunday. So if he can keep it together, I think he might be the best golfer out there.
Hey, all right, man. All right, I like that. Couple good picks here for all of you guys. We picked them great, man. We're giving you the picks. And I've got a lot of calls about our Super Bowl, those picks, man. A lot of you guys thank me for the picks. Hey, we're killing it, man. We're killing it. All right, let's see if we can keep killing it. Because, there's ups and downs. But, hey, let's go to the Daytona 500. The Great America Race is set to return this Sunday for a NASCAR, kind of kicking things off here. It starts at 2:30. It airs on Fox. All right, here's what we got here in terms of the odds, T. And I'm going to see what you think. Here's the odds. Denny Hamlin, plus 700, which means if you bet 100, you win 700. Plus 700 on Denny. Chase Elliott, plus 900. We got Blaney, plus 1,100. Keselowski, plus 1,100. And Logano, plus 1,100. So those are your top 5 in terms of the odds. Hamlin, is a 3-time defending winner. He won it in 2016, 19, and 20. Okay, 3-time winner.
Impressive.
Chase Elliott, who's ranked to come in 2nd, is the defending NASCAR Cup Series champion. He won the NASCAR Series last year, all the races, but he finished 17th at Daytona. But overall, he won NASCAR last year. Blaney came in 2nd last year behind Denny Hamlin. Remember, this was like one of the closest finishes ever. It was the second closest finish ever. It was under 2nd. Blaney behind Hamlin. Okay, so he's a 3rd-ranked guy this year. And Logano, who's ranked 5th, he's the only one of that group that's won the Daytona 500. He won it in 2015. So who do you like, man?
I'm taking Brad Leskowski. He's 11-1 odds. He's won a ton of big races. He's won a lot of races. He's been champion many times. He has the equipment to do it. His car is good enough to win this race. I just think he's had some bad luck in the past during this race, but I think he goes out, gets his first win at the Daytona 500, and pulls out a big upset.
I love Brad Keselowski.
He's got some passion to him, too.
Yeah,
so
he's a great guy. Great guy.
Fiery.
I like that pick. I'm going Denny Hamlin, man. I'm going chalk on you. Going chalk on you.
Surprise, surprise.
I mean, this guy, did you know Denny Hamlin started racing go-karts at 7 years old? I mean,
crazy.
What were you doing at 7 years old, man? You're probably playing football. This guy was running go-karts. You know what I mean? Hey, there's only 2 drivers that have ever won more Daytona 500s than Denny Hamlin. So he's got 3 wins. There's only 2 guys that have more than that. This is this guy's track. Plus, he just turned 40. He's going to be thinking, hey, man, I got to do this. I just turned 40, but he's still younger than Brady. So I think Denny Hamlin brings this home.
All right. Well, it's going to be a good one. Let's see if we can do it. 40-year-old guy. I'm sure he's, inspired by Tom after this week.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
All right, hey, and we're gonna keep it in NASCAR with our Wound Wise Trivia of the Week,
Okay.
and see if we can stump Team Money. That's our big goal every week is to stump Team Money, and we're gonna our sponsor Wound Wise IQ brings this to you. Thank you, Wound Wise IQ. It's a patented mobile imaging and analytics software app that is used by leading physicians and nurses caring for people with chronic wounds. Learn more at woundwiseiq.com. The Woundwise IQ trivia of the week. Team Money. Who is the famous basketball player who started a new NASCAR team with Denny Hamlin? And what number's the car?
It is Michael Jordan.
Oh my gosh, no.
And
You got this one?
and his driver is Bubba Watson. I'll give
Yes, it
you
is.
driver. Okay.
Yes,
Come on, who you
that's
want?
good.
Who you want? Now, I don't know the number. 11?
Why would you say that?
I swear there's a picture in my head of the car where Bubba Watson's standing next to it when they announced it. Tell me it's 11.
Yeah, but this is a new car.
Okay, I
it's a
don't
new
know.
car.
That's what I'm telling you.
Now,
what
what do
I
you
think it
think
is.
Michael Jordan's car would be numbered?
23.
There you go.
That's
That's the number.
Okay,
That's the
well, it
number.
makes sense. I don't know why I didn't think that.
So we got Michael Jordan coming in NASCAR. You know, there is another black owner. That's Brad Doherty. Brad Doherty, the only black co-owner of our Cup team. And
Yeah.
he's like, he thinks it's pretty dynamic. He's like talking it up, saying these guys are going to be like movie stars. You know, the three
Yeah.
of them together. When you get Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan and Bubba Wallace, who became famous last year, and Doherty's, I can't believe it. And you know, Doherty played the University of North Carolina basketball with Michael Jordan. Do you believe
I did
that?
not know that.
Those
That's
two
crazy.
guys are now owners, or the only two black owners of NASCAR teams.
That's
Isn't that
wild.
crazy?
Good for that team.
And there was racing today. They were doing the practice run today, and Bubba Wallace had the fastest time today at 12 o'clock out at Daytona. And they run tonight like for qualifying times and everything. But up until tonight's qualifying, during the practice runs, Bubba Wallace had the fastest time of all the cars.
Wow. That's awesome. Good for him. Only African-American on NASCAR's circuit right now. So that's pretty awesome for him. And good for Michael Jordan getting in there. I think he was inspired after Bubba Wallace, all of that stuff last year. So good for Michael Jordan. That's awesome. And, he's from North Carolina, huge NASCAR state. So 23, I should have thought that. I don't know why.
Look for that car on Sunday, man. Number 23. Here's what Jordan says. I'll wrap it up with this. Jordan says it's a huge opportunity. You're basically diving into a situation where very few black people have been present in the NASCAR arena. There's an opportunity to give a different lens to NASCAR as a whole, to change the perspective, and to try to attract and connect to the next generation without losing something for today's authenticity of the sport.
Nice quote.
Yeah. That's what he's going after. He wants to win, man. He doesn't want to come in, 10th place.
He that's not in his DNA. So I'm sure they're going to be competitive soon, very, very quickly.
Hey, we hope you all love the show. And you know that we love you, all you fans out there. Keep, sending stuff to us. Next week's show, we're going to continue to talk about college basketball, work our way toward the conference tournaments. We're lining up more guests for you. If you're interested in being a guest on the show, let us know. Thank you to Woundwise IQ for sponsoring our Trivia of the Week. Thank you to Help Me Startup for sponsoring the T. Ross Rant, which is getting more and more fun with T Money. And if you're interested in sponsoring one of our upcoming shows, please reach out to us and please like and subscribe when you're watching the show. We really appreciate that. Team Money, wrap this up, man.
Hey, thanks everyone for watching. Like G-Man said, like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram and all those platforms. Love all the support. Thanks again to Dan for coming out. Great guest. Excited for what's to come post-football here and expand the Father, Son, and Holy Sport brand.
All right. Sounds good, man. We'll see you all.
All.
Go Daytona.
We'll see you guys. Peace out.